It's your wicked chef, Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure to have you guys with me here in my kitchen. Today we're doing something that's been requested time and time again on the Facebook fan page. Remember, if you're on Facebook, search CaribbeanPot.com. But here's what we're doing. I've got a whole chicken, a 4-pound bird, down inside that hot oil there. It's getting nice and juicy on the inside, crispy skin on the outside. Yes, it's a Chinese style fried chicken, the way my aunt showed me how to do it, down from the Caribbean. Well, where else? Guys, Chris here, like I said, let's get cracking on this Chinese style fried chicken. You're going to love it. Let's take a look at the long list of ingredients we'll be using today. No Caribbean sunshine, my people. Hey, watch me. I've got a nice 4-pound chicken here, all cleaned up, trimmed, washed with the juice of a lime or a lemon, cool water. Then I pat it dry. It's dry here. It's all cleaned up and ready to go. A whole chicken. I've got here light soy sauce. I've got 1 cup poured out, but I think I will need about 1.5 cups of light soy sauce. And the other ingredient, ginger. We're gonna grate in about 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger in the marinade. I've got a tip here. We'll also need vegetable oil. Vegetable oil we'll be using to fry this chicken. So I'm going to show you a tip on how you can figure out how much vegetable oil you'll need to deep fry this chicken. But that's the ingredient, guys. Very simple, but I assure you, with that light soy sauce and that ginger, bam, it's going to be packing a nice punch of flavor. You will be blown away, trust me. So here's that tip on how much oil you will need for frying this chicken. One more thing, you're going to need a Ziploc bag to marinate this. Basically, all you would do is place the chicken into the pot you'll be deep frying it in. I mean, if you have a large enough deep fryer for this, maybe you've got a restaurant or something. I don't know, man, but check this out. Same pot, I'll be deep frying it. I put that raw chicken in there. Now all we're gonna do is using cold water. Now this is a measuring cup and this is 2 cups of water. All I'm gonna do is keep pouring in the water in here until the chicken is covered. That will give me an indication as to how much vegetable oil I will need for frying this. All we needed to do is to cover this chicken because we want to deep fry it. Again, you'll need a measuring cup and write down how many cups of water you've placed in the pot here. So as in my case here, 15 cups of water and my chicken is fully submerged in that water. Now all I'm going to do is remove that chicken from in there. And so let's say you mark down that you need 15 cups of oil as in my case. The other thing you can do, where that oil, the water line is here, make a mark of some sort to give you an indication. So I mean, so when you're pouring out the vegetable oil, all you have to do then with a mark there, pour it until the level mark there, and you'll be good to go. You won't be having to measure 14 or 15 or 16 or how many cups of vegetable oil. Put a mark on there and you're good to go. Heat it up. Once it comes up to temperature, then you'll be able to add the chicken in there for deep frying. I've got the chicken in the Ziploc bag there, nice strong Ziploc bag. But you know what, I am famous for making a mess, and these bags are famous for leaking. So what I'm going to do, I have to leave this, and it's very important you leave this in the fridge for at least 1 day or at least overnight in the fridge. You really want that marinade to really soak in there and infuse it with all that goodness. Like I said, I am notorious for being messy, so what I'm going to do is put it in a bowl first, and then I'm going to pour it into this bag and seal it up. So all we're doing basically is pouring in that nice light soy sauce. And then we're just going to grate in that fresh ginger directly into the bag here. I want to give it a nice dose of this ginger. You can already smell that wickedness from this ginger. Yes, I am. So all that ginger is in there now. It smells wonderful. And I'm just going to hit him with a little bit more soy. Because like I said, I'm going to use about 1.5 cups of that soy sauce. So then all we're going to do now is seal it up. Try to get as much of the air out of it as possible as you seal it up. There we go. nice and snug and tight. And all you're gonna do is to work that soy sauce, ginger. What did I say? Didn't I tell you guys it was gonna leak and I'm messy? Look at that. Gosh, Chris, why you have to be so messy, boy? Is why I always get into problems in this kitchen, you know. So anyways, mix them up nice and lovely in there. Sit her down in the bowl. Stick it in the fridge overnight. Best case scenario for 1 day, and then we're gonna get to deep frying it. One little quick tip, if you can, like let's say you set this like 7 p.m. to do, and you got a few hours before you go to bed. Before you go to bed, what you want to do is flip it around in the bag to make sure that marinade gets to all corners of this chicken, just to work it in a little bit and make sure that marinade gets everywhere. Spin it around a couple times if you can, and you're good to go. Let that marinate overnight, like I said. I've had the chicken overnight in the fridge, marinating away in that the soy sauce ginger combo. So what I did now, I took it out. I'm going to be using it in about half an hour. So half an hour before I use it to deep fry it, what I did was I took it out. I'm going to allow it to air dry because you want it nice and dry. And I've got some paper towels here. All I'm going to do is go all the way around and make sure you want a nice dry chicken, because we're going to be adding it to hot oil. And here I have my setup with the hot oil. Remember, nice deep pan. I want something with a high lid. And do follow that tip I showed you guys about how much oil to put in here. You really need to know how much oil to put in there, because the last thing you want is to use, first of all, a small pot and to overfill it, because once you add that chicken in there, it's going to overflow. Also, once that oil comes up to temperature, and you want it to be about 320 degrees Fahrenheit or so, once you add that chicken in there, it is going to sort of froth up a bit, and it may have the tendency to flow over. This is why I'm using a deep pot. Keep that in mind. It's very important that you do that. So all I'm doing now is bringing up this oil. The pan is still a little bit cold. I'm bringing it up to about 320 degrees because we want to cook this for about half an hour at least. We want to make sure this cooks all the way through and we have a nice crispy skin. The chicken is in the pot, nice and bubbling away there. I'm just going to keep this, try to maintain that 320 degrees Fahrenheit temperature in there. So I have it on a medium-high heat now. I want that to cook all the way through, so I'm going to give it at least half an hour of cooking. But as I go along, I'll update you as to how much more time we'll need and stuff like that. Just keep an eye on it. If you got a splatter screen, put a splatter screen on there. No sense making a whole bunch of mess on your stove, and let it do its thing. Just wanted to mention something to you guys, and I know from the video here you probably can't see it, but if you recall, I had the chicken in with the breast side up. Right now I flipped it over after about 10 minutes, and I'm going to keep rotating it. Now I have it with the back side up here. The back side up, listen to that. Anyways guys, the chicken breast, the chicken with the breast is on the side down now. Just going to let that keep going. Remember I said we want this nice and crispy on the outside, fully cooked but juicy on the inside. It's been going now for half an hour. I've been flipping it. I've flipped it 2 times now. I have it breast side up again. Here's the thing guys, I want this to be fully cooked all the way through. I don't play around when it comes to uncooked food, so I'm going to let it go for another 15 to 20 minutes because I want it to take on a bit more color, and I also want it to be fully cooked all the way through. So 15-20 minutes more. Like I said, we've already gone half an hour, but we're going to give it some extra time to really cook all the way through. It's been going now for 45 minutes in total. The last 5 minutes I cranked up the heat because I wanted to increase the heat of the oil because I want the skin nice and crispy. And I just wanted to show you guys a little setup here. I'm about to take the chicken out of the pot there. But over here, I mean, you can certainly put it on paper towels if you want, but I much prefer to put it, I have a baking dish here with a wire rack, so the wire rack doesn't sit directly on there because I want the air to go all the way around this chicken as it cools down. So I'm going to take it, put it on this wire rack. The extra oil is going to drop off into the pan here, but that is cool. I don't want this sitting in paper towels, to be honest with you. So I've got the chicken out of the hot oil now. It's on the wire rack. I mean, it's looking kind of cat spraddle at this point because it's kind of opened up. But I'm just going to let it cool down before I cut it up into pieces, and it'll be ready to serve. You won't be, you won't believe the amazing flavor is going to come out of this chicken with those simple ingredients we use. Here's the other thing. If you guys want to kick this up a little bit more in the marinade, and that's my dog outside deciding he wants to be in the video. If you want to kick it up a little bit, what you can do is add maybe about maybe about a half a teaspoon to a full teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder in the marinade. It'll give it a nice kick as well. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com's hold on, you know what? I'll show you guys this chicken. You like the little bricks there? I'll show you guys this chicken once it's all cut up. But before I forget, I gotta give big up to Auntie. Auntie, thanks for sharing this recipe with me, guys. Give it a try. Hold up, hold tight. I'll show you guys once I cut it up. So there is that chicken all cozy and nice with the little fried rice I have going there. Guys, you gotta give this deep fried chicken a try. Only thing though, guys, and I must mention this to you, because of the soy sauce we use, you may find it a little bit salty. So try and make a nice little sweet chili dipping sauce or something for it, and you're absolutely gonna love it. Look at that. Let me give all kind of pose now. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com, guys. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen. Give this recipe a try, and big up to Auntie for sharing this recipe with me.